absorbing the your environment. The reason why I was able to sort of work in all these roles is because I've worked closely with project managers, with scrum masters. Um, I've worked in so many different capacities as well. Some people will say they want a technical business analyst, and a technical business analyst to them is someone that is just writing user stories and, functional requirements. And to some people, a technical business analyst is somebody that is doing like wireframes, for example, use case diagrams, process maps. Um, I think it depends on the organizational needs. The role of a business analyst varies across the board. But one thing I would say as well is, as a starter, which is what I did, choose one area of BA that you feel is your area of expertise. When I started, it was process mapping. My first 2 or 3 roles was all about process mapping. And as I went on in other roles, I started to pick up other skills as a business analyst, as well as absorbing my environment. So understanding certain aspects of project management, Scrum Master, so on and so forth, because it is a very big role. There's so many different areas. And if you try to learn everything at once, it can be overwhelming. Some people, they have the mind, they can absorb everything at once. Kudos to those people. But for those that can't, choose one area, hone in on it, make that your area of expertise that nobody can question you on. When I started with process mapping, I was a process mapping whiz. And because of that, it enabled me to get roles. I specifically applied for roles to do with process, improvement as is to be, so on and so forth, because I knew that was my area of expertise, which then allowed me to learn on the job when it came to other aspects of business analysts and business analysis. But yeah, it's something that if you love it, it's a very good role to be in. It also varies in terms of the culture of the work environment from UK to America to Nigeria. So you also have to understand the environment that you're in, and understand their working culture. That is also very important. But yeah, I mean, we can go on and on and on about it. So, but I don't want to bore you guys too long. It seems Ayoola is also ready. I hope that's okay. I hope that's enough.
Yes, thank you very much for that. I like the angle with which you came in. Um, yes, it's basically wide, and it's better you pick on one for a start and build your expertise. So thank you for that one. So Ayoola, without wasting much time, we're already 30 minutes behind. Over to you.
Yeah, yeah. Good evening, everyone. Sorry. Um, it's one of those things that you see, as a business analyst, you need to test your system first. So you don't just come into the meeting before you just started testing your system. So, because I've had a very busy week, especially very, very busy week. So, I've not been able to do a lot of things. And this system I'm using is another system. So I'm so sorry. Without wasting time, I know some persons submitted a good number of people submitted their assignments on pest analysis. I have read all of them, though I didn't comment because everyone did very well. But one thing I will just say is that 90% of you guys used AI. Um, AI is good, fine. AI is fine. Google is fine. But make sure you put a lot of real life scenario into it. If you're using AI to generate your artifacts or your documents, most of the time it looks vague, and the language that AI uses might be too much. So when I saw it, I saw that most of you that turned in their assignments generated it from the AI. Fine, good. You all did well. Very, very good. All right. So today we going to be looking at real life scenario. We're going to be commenting on our chat box. So I want to start by painting a scenario of a case of a technology startup, like maybe there is a company that hired some developers and they have startup. They have workers, and their main thing is just they help companies to go into automation, and from manual to automation. So they got these clients that is a food company, and they manufacture products to make cooking very easy. So if you look at this, their brand is they produce popular cooking aids, like sauces, like seasoning packs, like recipe, and so on and so on. So, but from the history of this company, I'm just painting a scenario. So please put your mind into this story, so because we are going to be using this story along the line when we move. So their sales is just business to business. That's what we call B2B. Business to business means that they sell to companies. For instance, they can sell to Howdy, or they sell to Jumia. That's a business. They supply supermarkets, they supply in wholesale, and distributors also. But now, because things are shifting, because of the meltdown, because so many things are happening, they have business challenges. So the client is now struggling with some problems, like delay in supply chain. You know what I mean by supply chain is when you order, the order gets to 5 days, 7 days sometimes before you get your product. So customers complain a lot. So also because they have zero presence of the customers, they don't sell directly to customers. So they don't really have a grip of what is going on. So right now they want to move into customers. So in response, you as a business analyst, you are going to you want to propose uh, propose a digitalization of the system. So your company, which is called Power Tech, will help them to build a mobile app. Right. Okay. You're going to help them to build a mobile app to make sure that they can drive this transformation. So, as a business analyst on this project, you are tasked with delivering this very clear roadmap, and you will define the solution. So, you must first understand the problem. Don't forget, you must first understand how do you do this. You have to unpack a step-by-step approach into understanding what the problem. You might even discard this B2C projects by the time you take a look at what is going on. So number one thing, the step by step as a business analyst, when you step into a new company like that or a startup company, the first thing you do is to identify the stakeholders. Yes, that's the first thing you do. You map out who is involved. Who are those in the supply chain? Who are those working? Who are the managers? Yes, the IT has to be involved, the logistics heads, head of inventory and the rest. Also, the head of customer service, you need to know. Now, now, you see, digitalizing the marketing for a B2C growth is a major task. So each one holds a piece. Each person that is in this your stakeholders, they hold a piece of the puzzle. What you want to find out about the business, your mind is still vague. You don't go into it with a pre. You already have a something in the mind. Just go with an open mind first. So you need to start having meetings with all this. So you need to analyze your space also. That means I'm talking about the domain, the business itself. So you need to conduct a market research, which is the second thing you do. Yeah, and that is why I gave you that assignment of pest analysis the other time. So you need to go into the market and find out who is involved. You analyze who are the competitors, what are the competitors doing, are customers already searching for food products online? Are they already doing that? What channels best work for you? You might also look at apps like since it's food company like Jumia Food or grocery delivery services. You might want to benchmark the features of Jumia or which other one, and the delivery experiences. So you might want you just go to the comment section and read what the customers are saying about that. So the third thing is you identify the persona that is involved. You create the customer personas to understand the end user very well. You need to understand the customers. For instance, busy mom, we'll call busy mom. Many moms out there, especially in the UK, they are busy. So they want to reorder cooking packs quickly on their phone. Maybe they have to download. Young professionals, people that they're not married yet, you need to understand them. So, and the fourth thing you do is to define the requirement. We're going to delve more on requirement gathering
Jálẹ̀ tuntun ni yàrá yẹn lélẹ̀.
in this lecture today. We're going to go into requirement gathering. So you have to define your requirement.
Ọ̀rọ̀
You begin by having a
àná.
meeting.
Ok, ìbẹ̀rẹ̀
You
lẹ́fẹ̀ẹ́ kà.
begin by organizing. Sorry, can you mute, please? So you need to know your business requirements. You need to know you reduce the customer complaint. What you want to do is to reduce the customer complaint by 40%, maybe in 6 months. That is your goal. Yeah. So what is the business requirement? The business requirement is to reduce the customer complaints by 40% within 6 months after you've signed out this app. Then also you have user requirements. What you call user requirements. What does the user really want? You have what you call functional requirements. The app must allow order placement. Yes, that's one of the function. You must be able to track orders. Yeah, it must give orders. That's one of the, and the payments. You need to. Those are functional requirements. We also have what we call non-functional requirements. App must load within maybe milliseconds, or within 3 seconds. And you also have the GDPR complaints. Maybe in Nigeria it might not, but in the UK, GDPR is a very, very sorry, excuse me. So you use interviews, workshops, use competitor analysis to gather all this. So another thing you do as a business analyst is to define the business need. Don't forget the vision and the mission of the business must be in your mind. So at the heart of all of these is the business need. So the business needs to expand into B2C. That is what the business owner has told you. So they want to move into business to customer markets. So your role as a BA, you are the connector. Don't forget, you are the one that is connecting between the tech team and the business leaders and customers. So you must be able to picture the minds of these three. You are the one that will go to the developers and tell the developers, this is what my clients want, this is what their customers want. So you are not only going to search through the minds of your stakeholders, the inner stakeholders, like the workers or like the business owners. You are also going to search the mind of the customers too. and you're going to report back to the stakeholders and tell them, oh, this is what the customers really want. So you are not just going to be delivering documents, like I said last week, not just the artifacts. You are going to be delivering clarity. You're going to be delivering structure. You're going to be delivering confidence. You need to assert confidence in the minds of the customers. So especially what it is it's being built, the app that is coming up, you must give them that confidence. So you see, BAs, what we do every day is to solve real problems. You understand the users, you translate needs into actionable plans, and deliver value. That is it, strategically and incrementally. It's not going to just come. It's going to, you have to be incremental in your approach. Yeah, you have to be incremental in your approach. So like I said, you are going to do market analysis. Once you understand your project, what is being given, the task that is being given to you as a business analyst, you need to do a market analysis, the market you're going into. So what already exists, what is going on. Yeah, you have to know what are the competitors doing, like I said. So what the users expect. I'm not talking about the customers alone, also the staffs. Don't forget, somebody is going to respond. If order is being placed, somebody is going to respond. So what are they going to do? So in the real case analysis, start picturing your mind with the scenario I painted from the beginning of that thing, because I'm going to be asking questions later and you're going to be responding. Start searching through your mind if you're going to deliver an app that will help power tech, that will help the food company, the client, to go B to C. So like the power tech that I said, the food brand, um um the clients wants to launch the mobile app to enable direct customer sales. Yeah, so it's a great idea, fine, but who else is doing this same thing and who is doing it very well? So you need to go and get that market analysis. Yes, you begin your market analysis by looking at direct competitors, other food brands that have gone digital. Go also to tech leaders, e-commerce platforms like Jumia. You need to research into it. Google is your friend in this case. ChatGPT is your friend in this case. Make sure you make use of everything around you. If you need to have meetings, go into that. Yeah, because what are the customer expectations too? Is part of your market analysis. What do the users want from food app? What do they really want? So at the app reviews of others, you have to go into the reviews, check their reviews. What are they? You must do, and all this I'm talking about, you see that your SWOT analysis, your personal analysis is all in it. Yes, you are already doing that. So if the first document you are going to produce is a SWOT analysis of that business and the personal analysis of that business, all what I have told you fits into it. Yes, you understand. If you're doing a SWOT analysis, you need to understand the strengths of that business, the weaknesses of that business, the opportunities, and the threats of the business. And if you're doing a personal analysis of this company, this food company, you analyze the political undertone. What can affect them? If tomorrow Tinubu just stands and there's a law that goes against them. So you have to the economic aspect of it, the social tech, the legal, the environmental factors that can affect this business. So you need you can have a focus group You can just create a focus group, like you call people, maybe 10, and you interview them. You put them in a room and you start talking. Yeah, you can also use analytical platforms for benchmarking the app usage and downloads. So the ones that are already there. So your job as a BA is not just to gather research. No, it doesn't stop there. So you also need to translate whatever you have found, your findings, into insights. Yes. For example, based on our market scan, we can recommend a mobile push notification and WhatsApp order confirmation. Yeah. WhatsApp right now allows you to connect your app with them, so you can come like that. So because that's how 70% of our target users are currently engaged with food brands. So it's actionable. Yes, that's evidence based. You have something to hold on to. And that is a good business and market research and a good market analysis. So your market analysis gives you external lens to make internal decisions. Yes, yes, it ensures that your requirements are not only technical feasible, but also it is commercially relevant. Yeah, it's user focused and competitively strong. Don't forget your competitors, you have x-rayed them already. So let us um let us go into requirement engineering. Yeah, in business analysis as a role, is something called requirement engineering, and requirement engineering is a process. Yes, it's a process, and this is where your work starts to take shape. Yeah, if business analysis is about solving the right problems, requirement engineering is the structured way, this method that we use to understand what those problems are and how the solution should behave. Yes, how that app that you produce, you want to give them, how it should behave. Yes, that is requirement engineering. So, what is requirement engineering itself? So, requirement engineering is a systematic process. Yeah, it's a systematic process of eliciting, identifying, analyzing, specifying, validating, managing requirements itself. Each of these stages, these 6 stages, each of it builds on the last to ensure that what business needs is what the project delivers. Yes, what that business needs is what that project, that app will deliver. All right, let's us break all these six. Let's explain all these six, because this is the real base of a business analysis. So um in eliciting, you it's all about engaging stakeholders. There's something that's called elicitation meeting. Yeah, so this elicitation meeting is calling the stakeholders and asking them questions. You can send your question upfront to them, and you can just ask your question during that meeting. So it's about engaging the stakeholders to understand their needs. So you ask the right questions, observe real processes, and ask what is assist, what is going on right now, what is the process right now. You uncover both spoken and unspoken requirement. For example, in this our let's say the power tech case, you might interview warehouse staff. Yeah, you might interview the sales managers, customers, interview some of the customers that they are friends. You learn how others are pleased right now as is. So How is it fulfilled? How or why is it delayed? How is it delayed? How long is it delayed? So the next one is identifying requirements. Here you refine what you've gathered. You group, filter, you prioritize all the raw data into usable lists. You separate features, you separate expectation, you separate the constraints. Yeah, these are the constraints. These are things that are not. For example, now you realize that the real-time tracking is a top user request, while the same day delivery is a stretch goal for you. Is it possible same day? Well, all right. So the third thing is analyzing the requirements. Now you start asking deeper questions. Is this technically feasible? Is it possible? So what's the cost of the delay? How do we test the success? Even if we shoot out this app. So you also identify overlaps, contradictions. Yeah. While engaging with stakeholders, you might see some contradictions and gaps. Yeah. So you also specify requirements. Clarity matters in this case. You document the requirements. That means you are writing your functional and your non-functional requirements. Yeah, you're going to be writing that. So I'm going to go into requirement engineering, which is divided into two. We have requirement development, and there is also requirement management. Yeah, under the requirement development, there is elicitation, analysis, modeling and specification, verification and validation. While under the requirements management, we have a change control, version control. That's what you do when you are managing the requirements. So also tracing and status tracking. Yes, status tracking. Um, all right. Okay. Um, Before I look into these requirements, I will still want to delve more on these components. Yes, on this component. So focus on this component, the two core branches that I call requirement development and requirement management. Um, in requirement management, you see, um, or let me talk about requirement development first. It is where this journey starts. Yes, raw ideas from stakeholders are refined into validated requirements. Yes, uh, here, like I said, these four activities that you do here, eliciting, analysis, modeling, verification. Uh, these four, they are the major tasks that you do under development. Yeah, eliciting is just it's the process of drawing out your requirements by interview. I said that before. It could be your survey, it could be your workshops, and it could be because you've observed some things that are going on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you also review mock-ups with business um process. So you also identify the patterns. Yes, that is your analysis. The patterns it takes, the order delay. What are the patterns that they? And when you're looking at the modeling and specification, you visualize and document the requirements. This is where use case diagrams is being used, process maps is being used, wireframes. Yes, you have formal requirement documents is done here, and your verification is where you check what you have captured and the right requirements. Is it the right one? Yes. Are they clear? Are they testable? Do stakeholders agree with what I documented? Don't forget it has to be signed off. As you're sending this document, they will read and they will sign it off. Yeah, and okay, let's move into the requirement management this time. So in requirement management, once the requirements are developed, you have to control them. Yeah, that's the first thing you do. You have to track them. This is versionizing. You have to versionize all the documents. Yes, yes. You need to trace it. Your version control is just tracking the different versions of the requirements that you have produced. That involves, yeah, example, uh user must be able to pay online. That's version 1. User must be able to pay via card. Could be the version 2. You know, PayPal also. They must be able to pay via PayPal, via mobile money. So you have to control each version that comes out. And when you are tracing, yeah, this is when you link the requirements to other project artifacts, the test cases, the design component, the business goal, or the business case. Yeah, this is where you do that. Yeah. So there's what we call requirement analysis process. Yeah, requirement analysis process. You see, business needs they are high level goals. So these high level goals or objective of a business, like what your the example I gave in the beginning, the business wants to what they want to achieve, B2C is high level. How you want to achieve it, they won't tell you. So it's not broken down yet. So they come from senior stakeholders like the MD or shareholders. So, uh, uh, so these high level goals that come from senior stakeholders has to be aligned with the strategy that you want to use. For example, you want to enable direct to customer digital sales to increase revenue by 20% within 12 months. That is a goal. So this sets the strategic purpose for the entire project. So don't deviate from the purpose of the project. You have to stick to the goal. So also there's also what we call stakeholder requirements. The stakeholders, what do they really want? Don't forget, customers are also part of your stakeholders. So the needs of the individual stakeholder groups, not the business as a whole. This could be it could include marketing, operations, IT, end users. For example, customer service agents needs access to live order status. Yeah, they want to know where is the product right now. If you're using a third party to deliver, where is it right now? So you will need to do that. Is part of it, because people will start calling customer service and say, oh, sorry, I ordered for something 3 days ago, it hasn't gotten to me. So they want to be able to track it. There's also solution requirements. Solution requirement describe what qualities the app is going to do, the capabilities of the app, the solution, what it must have. They are broken down into two. Yes, this is very important. You need to pay more attention. You have to be attentive to this: functional requirements and non-functional requirements. Yeah, functional requirements are what the system should do. Example: the app must allow customers to place, view, and cancel orders. That is a function of the app. Yes. Why the non-functional requirements is how the system should perform. For instance, the mobile app must load in under 3 seconds on a 4G network. 4G, not 5G this time, on a 4G network. The system must be available 99.9% of all the time, whether it's in the night, midnight, anytime. Non-functional requirements often relate to performance, it relates to security, it relates to usability, compliance with the GDPR. Yeah. Now, let me go. These two, the stakeholder requirements and the solution requirements are categorized into transition requirement. Don't forget, you are moving from one app, you're transiting to another, from B2B to B2C. So these two are the temporary capabilities that the system must do. This is what is needed to move from where you are, the old state, to the new one. For example, data migration scripts must be developed to make sure to move that customer data from the legacy customer service management to the new system. You're developing a new system before it used to be B2B. So right now it's going to be B2C. Yeah. So translation requirements are often overlooked. Yeah, but they are very, very important. They are very important. They are essential for smooth deployment of the app of the project and the adoption by users. Yes. Um, so if we look at Power Tech case, the food brand that I said in the beginning, the business requirements is to expand direct online sales to customers. So your stakeholder requirements could be the operation team needs they need delivery status visibility, like I said before. So your functional requirements could be the app must let users reorder previous purchases, yes, in the past. Yeah, your non-functional could be the app must support 10,000 or more than 10,000 or millions of users simultaneously. Yeah, how many users can click? Does it get slow once we have more than 1 million users on it? Imagine Amazon. If you look at Amazon, how many users use it? How many servers do you think they have? So non-functional requirement is very important. So um your transition, your product catalog must be migrated from your Excel to a digital database. So you categorize all this clearly. You give the developers and the testers a very clear details of what is needed, exactly what the stakeholders need. So you also help as a BA, you help the business to track whether you're meeting the goals or not. So yes, um, I'm still going to say to look at these functional and non-functional requirements, because you need to understand this very well. This is this is very important in business. As a business analyst, you need to know the functional requirements and the non-functional requirements. So functional requirements, like I said, is what the system should do. For example, if it is a website, the website will store customer data. It's customer data. You have to maybe you allow users to interact with the platform seamlessly. And the non-functional requirement, on the other hand, could be focused on how the system performs. So, for instance, customer data will be encrypted to meet a level 1 encrypted standard. So you ensure that there is security of data. People just put in their email. Other people should not be able to see their email, so there must be encryption. Yeah, there must be encryption. So the the app will provide an account balance. If you are looking at maybe a banking app, Yeah, the app will also provide statements. You should be able to download your statements. The app is integrated with account database via an API. While your non-functional requirement could be the background color. People wants to change the background. They want white and black, yellow, whatever. The app will also is capable of serving lots of people at the same time. So just want to move. Yes, let's look at Moscow prioritization, which is one of the tools used by business analysis. I'm going to ask a question here. I want us, after explaining these, I want us to put on the chat box, for instance, if you're going to be having a wedding, yes, if you're going to be having a wedding and you are the event planner, Hmm? What you I want you to start thinking, what is a must have in a wedding. You are the event planner. You're going to plan a wedding for somebody in just anywhere. So what is the must have? What are the things that you must have on that wedding day as an event planner? So what is the should have, what is the could have, and what do you will not have yet, something that you will not have right now for the wedding. So I'm going to explain it, and after this explanation, you're going to put on the chat box the prioritization using Moscow. So this is a technique, a popular method for managing requirements. Yeah, uh, like I said, Moscow stands for must have, should have, could have, and won't have. Yes, what is must have? This is the essential feature that the project cannot succeed without. You're planning a wedding. What is it that the project cannot succeed without? Should have is important features that are not so critical, but they had significant value to the project. Could have is, well, desirable features, but that enhance the system, but they are not necessary. But won't have is the features are not prioritized for now. This feature you may not you may consider it later, but not for now. So let's put on the start box. If you are going to be planning a wedding and you want to have must have, should have, could have, won't have, how do you put this in there? Can I have it right now? If you're following, yes, you get these presentation materials. On the chat box, can you put hello? Can you all hear me? So on the chat box, Moscow prioritization for a wedding. If you are the event planner, what is your must have? What could be your must have, should have, could have, won't have? Must have bride and groom. Yes, Dada Victoria. Yes. You just trick. There is already bride and groom now. There's already bride and groom now. Yes, must have wedding venue. Good. Yes, Shiwendu. Must have is wedding venue. Yeah, you're right. There must be a wedding venue. Yeah, at least they are not going to go to the sky. Yes, yes. As a business analyst, you need to start. Won't have. Yeah, what do you have as won't have? Kafaya. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that. Chiwendu. Must have is food and drinks. Yeah, 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 yeah. I didn't want to go with food and drinks for a must have. Yes, there are some weddings. Well, if you like, why not put this as a could have, Well, but I can have my wedding. Is it compulsory that I serve food and drinks on my wedding? Mm. Should have dress all. Dress, yes, should have dress or yeah, yeah, band. Good. I like that. I like that. Kafayat, wedding cake, good. Won't have his wedding cake. Whoa, won't have wedding cake. Won't have. No, Kafayat, I don't want to go with that. Won't have cannot be wedding cake, except you want to explain. Won't have is, do you want to have wedding cake later? Won't have is something that is not significant. This, if you have wedding cake, don't you know that people will see it as no cake on this wedding? What's going on? Must have media. Ademuyiwa, must have media. I still don't agree. I still don't agree with you on must have. It seems we don't really understand this very well. Media is a could have. Is it compulsory? Well, anyway, you are all right because it depends on what the stakeholder wants. Don't forget, the stakeholders are the bride and the groom. If the bride and the groom tells you that media, I don't want them to cover. I don't even want people to know that I'm getting married. You know, so media might be a won't have. Yes, should have bride father or representative. Whoa, this must be, you are planning a traditional wedding. I can see. Yeah, could have venue decoration. Ooh, very good. I love that. Yeah, decoration. Yeah, must have financing. Yes, money must be involved. Samuel, you are good. Should have a standard caterer. Yes, I agree with that. Could have media. Good. That's what I said before. Yeah. Won't have is guest satisfaction. Oh, it no concern you. Oh, whether they are satisfied or not. Well, won't have. Yeah. Should have location. Good. Won't have souvenir. You don't want to give people souvenir. Could have decoration, bridal train, groomsmen. That's fine. Should have MC. I love this. Yes, there must be an MC. It's a should have anyway. Well, yeah, must have joining priests. Oh, good, 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 good. Then couple of outfits. Couple outfits. Yeah. It's a must have. Oh. Yeah, they must wear one very good clothes. Yeah, 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 yeah. You're right. You're right. So I'm glad that we really understand this very well. Yes, you can keep it coming. Yeah. Yeah, I must have vehicle to through. Yeah. Yeah. What if I'm it's in my house now? Must have wedding ring. So it depends on your stakeholder. You've been contracted to organize a wedding for somebody. So it depends on your stakeholder what they really want. Now let's look into requirements engineering process. Now, when you look at this process, you discover the first thing is the discovery. Elicitation is just a big word. It's just a meeting. That's what it means. It's a meeting. You organize elicitation meeting. High level requirements. We're moving D to C. Is an high level, a very big, a very big mission or vision given to you. That's high level requirement. Then you document the details, level requirements. Then the fifth, you make prototypes and user story and your acceptance criteria. We'll go into this very soon. You write your test script, you build, you test, and you deploy. That is the project lifecycle. That's just the project. That's where how it moves. Yes, that is the process. That's the process. Now, let's look into artifact purpose. What do I mean by artifact? Documents. All the documents from the beginning that you have been sending to take over, the one that is signed off. They will tell you, take this off, put into this. No, this is not satisfactory. So artifacts they are essential for they're essential for the delivery of the project. So these are the deliverables, the things that you need to put in your archive. That helps us to document, it helps us to communicate and manage the requirements throughout the project lifecycle. They serve two things: focus on two primary focus, primary purpose, and the business focus and software focus. Business focus is artifacts that are under the designing uh, that aligns with the business goals. Yes. So artifacts under this category are designed to align with business goals, and it provides clarity on the overall vision. Yeah. For instance, now business case is one of the artifacts that aligns with the business goal. We talked about business case the other time. So it justifies the investment. Business case justify the return on the ROI, the return on investment. Yes, on this project based on commercial value. You know, process maps too. These are visual representation of the workflow, the processes, from ordering to delivery. So the workflow, you have to understand the current workflow as is, and the to be, the future states. Also, epics, which are high level requirements that outline major functionalities, and your need, the features are also under this business focus too. So, also, there is a software focus. Yes, there is software focus, and these artifacts are more technical, and they help to define structure, they help to define functionality of the software that is being developed, the app that you are proposing. Example, use case. There's what is called use case, which describes the interaction of the users, the customers, the staffs, the users and the system. So use case, wireframes, um, which is a blueprint. Well, let me just explain wireframe right now. It's just wireframes like use balsamic. We're going into tools next week. So wireframes are blueprints of the software or website. Eh, Whatever you are developing, you visualize it. Yeah, the journey from beginning to the end, from when they log in to the end. Yeah. While user stories are detailed descriptions of functionalities, yeah, from the end user's perspective, from the customer's perspective, those that are using the system. While test scripts are just instruction for testing the software to ensure that it meets the purpose or the requirements. Yeah, all these artifacts, what's the purpose of it? The purpose of this artifact is to ensure there is communication between the stakeholders and the developer. You see, uh, in Nigeria there is no much documentation, but in the UK here, if you're going as a business analyst, everything must be documented, everything must be signed off. You don't just assume. No, you don't just assume. From the high level requirement, you to the detailed level requirement, everything must be documented and signed up by your stakeholders. Just go into a project and you're doing something that the stakeholders don't know about. So this takes me to what is high level requirement and what is DLR. HLR, DLR, R level, high level requirements, and detailed level requirements. Now, your high level requirements, don't forget, at the beginning, they are the broad requirements. At the beginning, the task that has been given to you, go and develop. We want to go into B2C now, where B2B before, it's now B2C. It's big. It's a high level requirement. For instance, an app that will help customers to manage their accounts. These are requirements that is general. It's a general idea. It's a general idea of a project, the whole scope, and there is no specific details or how it should be. But the detailed level requirements are the requirements that are refined into specific actionable items. For instance, now that app will be available for download on maybe Apple or on Android phones. That is a specific actionable item. It is detailed. So this level identifies the exact functionality that the app must do. Yes, It's so the two categories. These two, they are also divided into what is called functional, like I said before, requirements, and non-functional requirements. Yeah, functional requirements, like I said before, is what the system should do. Yeah, for example, the easiest example is that users can log in, users are able to reset their password. That's the function of the app. While the non-functional requirement defines the system qualities, like security on the system, encryption. So those are the requirements. Yes, let's move on because we still have a lot to cover. We have a lot to cover. Okay, I'm gonna skip this. Skip this. All right. Because of time. All right. Let's move into, let's look at an overview of um the requirements. Yes, let's just look at the overview of how these requirements are being categorized. High level requirements is broken down into epics. Epics is broken down into features and broken down into another smaller unit called user stories. This is an overview of what you are going to be doing as a business analyst. All right. So you see, the summary of all this is that this structure that I gave you is refined, and it shows the progression from the high level requirements to detailed level requirement, which include epics, features, and user stories. And this shows the importance of breaking down the requirements into actionable components. Like the high level requirements, which is broad, non specific. Yeah. Um, the epics are large, high level chunks of work that is derived from high level requirements. Yes. You begin to break your high level requirements into epics, like the login. Yeah. So the high level requirement, the purpose is to represent a major function of that app, the goal that is being given to you. Yes. So what is features? Features are specific functionalities within the epic. It describes what the system will do. This time around, not should, will do. Yeah. The purpose. Yeah, so it's just to break down epics into smaller, actionable, like login functionality. Why user stories are a small, the smallest unit of work that is derived from the features. It is written from the specific perspective of a user. Yes, the end user, and the purpose is to focus on delivering the value, and it defines how features will be implemented. For example, maybe you've been hearing this or you've read about it. You see, an example is, as a user, I want to log in with my username and password so that I can access my dashboard. That is a user story. That is a user story. Yes, it is a tool that is used in Agile. Yeah. So let me repeat again. As a user, I want to log in with my username and password so that I can access my dashboard. Can we all go to the chat box right now and think of an app that you're producing, that maybe Amazon or whatever, or Temu or TikTok, or any app that you have interfaced with. So, what are the things you do there as a user? What do you want to see? All right, let's go to the chat box, or let us use our scenario that I painted from the beginning. As a user, what do you think you should or you want to see? Don't use my own example. Like I said, as a user, I want to log in with my username and password. Use something else. Can we go on the chat box right now? And let me see if you're really following. Akinola Temitope said login page. No, don't just say login page. You have to write your user story in full. As if you're writing a user story, you say, as a user, I want to, so that I, you see those three words joining together. This, as a user, I want to log in so that I can view my dashboard. Yes, you all have banking apps, your Access Bank, your GT Bank app. As a user, I want to log in so that I can print out my statement as a user. So let me be sure you follow it. As a user, I want to be able, as a user, I want to be able to make a payment with my debit card so that I can place an order. Yeah, Kent, good. Yeah, that's fine. I should be able to view my cards and track my order. Dada, yeah, that's it. But you didn't use the right words. Ibrahim said, as a user, I want to see my transaction history in two columns of income and expense. Yeah. Now, like I said, your user story must have these words. As a user, I want to, so that I must be part of your sentence. It must be part of your sentence. As a user, I want to, so that I, that is part of it. So you need to start knowing what user, that's how to develop a user story. You can keep it coming, you can keep it coming. Yeah, as a user, I want to see my transaction. No, yeah, yeah. So that is user story. Yeah. So how do you write a user story? You define your end persona, you specify what they want to achieve, be sure to add the benefits, and do not forget acceptance criteria. Yeah, your AC. AC is how you know your user story is testable and can be developed. Yeah, we're going to talk about AC, which is acceptance criteria, very soon. We're going to talk about that. Yeah. So I also want to talk about invest. Invest. You know, one thing about this training is that I'm just trying to open you up so that by the time you go into the real training, the truth is that business analysis is not a 6 months training. Yeah, it's more than that. You need to be on a project to be able to understand this. You need to be on a project, a live project, to be able to put all this into use. So the purpose of this training is just to open you up into what you'll be facing, and if you are going to get have interest in this. Yes. Um. Uh. Invest is one of the framework that is used for writing an effective user story. Um. See. Invest stands for independent, valuable, small, negotiate, estimate, and testable. Yeah. So if we start from the independent, can work on its own. Yeah, can it work on its own without dependencies? Yeah, look at negotiable is open for discussion and refinement. Valuable delivers clear value to users. And estimable means can it be estimated for an effort or for complexity? Also, it has to be small in manageable size, and it has to be testable. It can be verified through acceptance criteria. So that's just invest for you. So whatever project, whatever app you're producing, you can subject it to invest. Yes. Now let us look at acceptance criteria. How do like I said, acceptance criteria is users are they able to accept, they've written a user story, this is what they want. Acceptance criteria is that what uh condition must be fulfilled before the user story is being accepted. Now it defines the conditions for the success to ensure the user story is complete and testable. Your example, this is the syntax that is also being used. It has its own syntax, areas. Given that, for instance, let me just give you one now. Let me think of one. Given I enter the correct username and password, when I click on login, then I should be granted access to my dashboard or landing page or yeah. So the summary of writing a user story is simple. Focus on the user, yeah, their action and the value they gain. So acceptance criteria is the condition that the software product must meet to be able to be accepted by the user. Yeah. Yeah. So I want to also again we've discussed about this, discussed about this. Um Before we move into this, I want to look into what is called definition of ready. Yes, there's something that is called definition of ready in I'll just explain. It's not part of the slides, but I'll just explain it. Um, what is definition of ready or DOR? The definition of ready is just a checklist or a set of criteria that ensures that the user story is fully prepared and it is ready to be worked on by the development team. So uh, it ensures the clarity, it ensures completeness, it ensures that it's aligned with the team before implementation begins. And that's what we call definition of ready. So the criteria for definition of ready is the inverse I talked about, which is independence, it's negotiable, it's estimable, it's valuable, and it is small. So your user story is clearly written and it has to be followed. It must follow a kind of a standard. Yes, and that standard is, like I said, as a user I want to, so that I can, which I have told you before. So and the acceptance criteria are also testable and they are defined too. So the dependencies are identified and the dependencies are resolved. So the story is prioritized and aligned with sprint goals. Yes, sprint goals. So the team must understand the story very well and they must agree that it is ready to start. And that is where we have the definition of ready. Why is this definition of ready important in business analysis? It prevents delays. Yeah, it ensures that the team has the right information. Everything is ready because before development team starts. Yeah, before it starts. So it enhances the quality also. Ambiguity is reduced. You understand? So, example of a ready user story or user story is, as a customer, I want to log into the platform so that I can access my dashboard. Simple, just simple like that. And the acceptance criteria could be, given that I enter the correct username and password, when I click on login, then I should be granted access to the dashboard. So simple, just as simple as that. So, in summary, your definition of ready is to ensure that the user story is clear. So, the criteria must be met so that we don't have rework. There's something called scope script, so we don't have it. So, you must reduce confusion also so that you can deliver a high quality result with high efficiency. Yeah, high efficiency. All right. Now, there's this which we've talked about before, this Genking uh is is syntax called Gently, which is captures the precondition, action, and the post condition. Yeah. The Genking syntax define the precondition that must happen, which is before you log, like when I entered my username, that is before, that is the precondition. Yeah, the action and the post condition. So when you look at what we have said before, you will see that it has been broken down into these three: precondition, action, and the post condition. For example, as a user, you must be registered. That is the precondition for logging in. The action is the user enters his login credentials. That is the action. And what is the post condition? Successfully logging. So, the benefits of using acceptance criteria, uh, like I said, is to remove ambiguity. Yes, is just to remove ambiguity. So, um, this is an example of acceptance criteria. Like I said, given that I have an account, it's a precondition, and I have registered for my mobile app, and I have a valid login PIN. And what is the action you have to take when I log in into the app? Because the app is not going to log in itself. Yeah. Then I will be presented with all my accounts and all balances for all my. That is the post condition. That is the post condition. Now, we have just 15 minutes now. So I want to touch on what is called happy parts and unhappy parts. Yes, happy parts and unhappy parts. Yeah, happy parts in the course of your BA, and especially when you're designing your process map, you would you will face what is called happy parts and unhappy parts. Now, what is happy part? Happy part is the ideal thing that should happen on the system. Yes, it is the ideal scenario where everything works as expected. No glitch, no delay. Example, users entered a valid credentials and logs in successfully. That is an happy part. Has it occurred to you uh, that you want to log in into an app that you have on your phone and you are not able to log in? It happens a lot. What happens to you? You will be unhappy. And that is just what is called an unhappy part. Yeah, scenarios where errors occur. The system has to undo this unhappy parts gracefully. So, as a business analyst, during your process map, you should think of happy parts and unhappy parts. Example, users entered when a user enter an incorrect credentials, they will be unhappy. They keep entering a wrong password, they will be unhappy. An error message must show. So you have to think ahead when you're designing an app like that. So um let's think of a scenario. Um Example, if a user is logging trying to log in into a system, the happy parts could be users enter a valid login credentials, then logs in successfully, and the dashboard is displayed. That is a happy part. An unhappy part could be users entered an invalid credential. Error message is displayed. User tries logging in, error message shows up. So that is an unhappy part. So you have to document all of this as a BA. So in conclusion, acceptance criteria are essential for ensuring user stories are actionable, they are testable, and they align with user needs. You have, by defining both the happy and the unhappy parts, teams can anticipate potential issues, things that can occur, and deliver a robust solution. So this approach enhance clarity, reduce ambiguity, and ensures that the uh, product meets the stakeholders' expectation. Yes, yes, stakeholder meets the expectation. All right. Um, I would want us to, if we understand, I want to test if we really understand how to write a user story and acceptance criteria. So on the chat box, I would want us to put in a user story and an acceptance criteria. So I have seen as a user, I should get a log where I can lodge my complaint should in case there is glitch in making payment. You are not using the right word. You are not using the right word. Like I said, as a user, I want to so that I can. These right words must be in your sentence, in your user story, when you're constructing your user story. Also, if it is your acceptance criteria, you must use given, when, and then, which is broken down into precondition, action, and post condition. So I want to see if you really understand this very well. On the chat box, please, can you put in your acceptance criteria if you understand it very well? The last 10 minutes will be for questions. So after this, on the chat box, you can begin to put this. If anybody has a question, please, you can seize the mic. I'm going to stop here today. Next week, we are going to be looking at tools, which is the last, that will be the last class. It's just for us to look at all the tools that is being used by business analysts. Yes, if you have a question, you can come on the mic, and also you can put your acceptance criteria if you understand acceptance criteria very well. Yeah, let me see. Given I am on a login page, given I am on a login page. No, all right, you didn't finish this. Kent, you didn't finish it. Yeah. What is your action? Given you are on a login page, what are you doing on the login page? What do you want to achieve? So you have to complete it, Kent. Given I am on a login page, yes. When I click on orders, then I should be able to see my previous orders. Yeah, that could be it. So it depends on what you want. Yeah. So if you have questions, please you can come on the mic as we do this. If there is any aspect that is not clear enough, you can come on the mic and we can do this together. If there is anything I've explained and you don't understand very well, you want me to revisit it, we have just 9 minutes.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify on the functional requirement and non-functional requirement.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking in my head, functional requirements are those features. Okay, let's say we're building an app, and functional requirements are those features that enables the app to deliver the solution,
Fine.
right?
Yeah.
Without which they cannot function, they cannot deliver that solution. But
Yes.
non-functional requirements are like other necessary things. If they are not there, the app will still deliver, but they also need to be there, perhaps because of security, like you said, and compliance, like you said.
Yeah, you are right. Like security,
Okay.
yeah, compliance, like color. You might make
Inside.
it a static color, white and black, yellow, blue, green. People can want to change their color themselves.
Okay, okay.
That's
So
non-functional.
the
Also,
differentiating part,
yeah, go on.
the differentiating part there would be that functional requirements are the features that enables the app to deliver the solutions.
Yeah, yeah. For
And
instance,
non-functionals are
if
necessary,
yeah, if you
but
are
they are
looking at
not
an
required
ERP
for the
now,
app to function.
yeah, if you are looking at an ERP application now, you must have a cash book, you must have maybe inventory, you must have account payable, account receivable. Those are the functions. What are the things you should do? If you are looking at a banking app, you want to pay, you want to do direct debit, you want to receive statement. Those are the functions. But non-functional requirements are the way the app itself behaves. When I click on when I click on a module or I click on something, how long does it take to load? Does it take 5 minutes? Do I have to wait? Those are
Right.
non-functional requirements. They are
Okay.
necessary. Yeah, they're just the necessary things that in fact, in short, the way the app behaves is the non-functional requirement. Yeah, the way it
Okay.
behaves. Yeah. Or it could be a website also.
So could we say that's a function of necessity and sufficiency?
You could, yes, you can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Questions, please. Questions. We can take this past 8, no problem. You can drop your hand. Ken, is it Ken that spoke just now? Kent, yes, you can have the floor. Yes, Kent. Kent Inanji. Your hand is up to have the floor. The truth is, I'm not sure we'll be able to cover everything about business analysis.
Sorry,
Yeah,
can I go on? Sorry.
yeah, Kent, you can go on.
Okay, I wanted to ask, at what point do you apply the Moscow? Is it when you are drawing up the epic or high level requirements?
Uh, it could be before your high level requirements.
Mm.
Yes, before your high level. Remember, I told you high level requirement is a vague requirement, just like the vision or the mission of the project itself. Deliver. Okay, it's not even deliver. Your stakeholders or a business owner just approaches you and say, I've been selling to businesses and I want to sell direct to customers. You are a business analyst. Go and make it happen. That's just what the owner of the business will tell you. It won't tell you the details. It won't tell you anything. Now we want to be selling directly. We don't want to be selling in wholesale anymore. We want end users to be purchasing directly from us because we're having so much complaint. That's an high level requirement. So your prioritization is just a tool, it's a strategy that you used. What should we have in this app? So the Moscow is a kind of setting priorities. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to go and deliver an app to the customers, to the end users. What should be in this app? What should it not be? Like the example I gave of a wedding, I just gave that example. It could be an app, it could be a project, it could be a house you are building. Do you get? So
Okay. It
yeah,
then means it's Moscow that determines the high level requirements and the epics that you come up with.
good. Because from the Moscow, you have streamlined what I should have, what I won't have, what I must have.
Mm.
This is not so important. Customers, do they want to see? Do they? Do you want customers to have a chat with a CRM? No. Is it important? Is it not important? We can have this later. Let's deliver what Oga said first. Do you get? So that could be it won't have, but we can have it later. So you prioritize. It's a major tool that you need. If you don't do this, you will end up doing something that is we call it scope creeping. And scope creeping is you don't have this defined thing you want to do. And in between the projects, new things start coming in. Stakeholders tells you, oh yeah, go and add this to it, go and add that to it. And it increases the budget, it increases the timeline, and you may end up not finishing the project. You understand? So it has to be defined right from beginning. You see, in Nigeria, people don't do this, and that is why most projects, most businesses fails. But in the UK here, business analysis is an hot cake. Everything must be documented. What you said from the beginning, from the business case that you highlighted, that you presented during the registration meeting that you had with what you said from the beginning is what you must follow. So you cannot tell me now, okay, I'm developing an app. Sorry, Olowoshile, I'm developing an app. I have said I will need 3 developers, and I have said that I will deliver in 6 months. During the project, what you said is B2C, business to customers. Then during the project, you now said, can we also inculcate the B2B again? B2B and B2C should be in the same app. You understand? That is scope creeping. That means what was not in the project from the beginning is now creeping into it. All right. Let me have Lowosile Samuel. Please, your question.
Hello, sir.
Yes, go on, please.
Yeah, the won't have of the Moscow plan,
Yeah.
is it that it's not attainable or just during those measures you can have measures of the Moscow plan? Is it that it's not attainable at that time or you can as well as get them later?
So won't have is that it's what you said last. Yeah, that your last statement. Later, that is won't have it this time around. It is out of budget. You know, from the beginning, your stakeholders must have given you budget set. They will just tell you 40,000 pounds for everything. So you cannot deliver everything, developer was everything like that with 40,000 pounds. So you
Okay.
get, so
Okay.
it is nice to have, but it's not so, the impact is not so significant right now. So we don't really need it. We can have it later, but you have to document it.
Okay. Okay.
You know, when you put won't have, hmm, your state, by the time you are presenting this most scope prioritization to your stakeholder and you send this won't have to them, they will know that you are already thinking ahead. You are already thinking, okay, Apart from this, we can also have this in future, but let's deliver this first. All right.
Okay,
Any
sir.
other question? Any other question, please? Yeah, Kent, I like
So,
this. Given I am on the orders page, when I click on the recent orders, then I should be able to track my recent order. Fine. Okay, that's a very good acceptance criteria. Thank you. Any other question?
sorry, I was going to ask. So for this case study that you gave,
Yeah.
assuming the client wants both B2B and B2C, in trying to get your stakeholder requirements, is it okay to ask for the contact details of the existing B2B so that you can go to them to actually find out what they
Yeah.
exactly want?
Yes.
Or do
Yes.
you just use the complaints log to get that
Yeah.
sorted?
Yes. Yes. You know, there's what is called assist. Assist is just how is the business now? You need to know the pros. I've told you before that you must know the domain. You must know the business. You must know the process that operates right now. So by knowing the process, you must go into details. You must be able to log in into whatever they are using for now. If it is manual or they are using digital. So you understand? If they are using Excel, you may need to collect that Excel. And how do you know their customer base? How do you know how many customers they have? So you have to. Don't forget you want to increase customers. So how do you know the former customers? If you have 100, how will you measure yourself if you're doing well or not? So these information are very critical. So in the advanced countries, they don't keep information from you. They don't keep it. That's why they make you sign what is called non-disclosure NDA, non-disclosure agreement when you come into a company. So everything is open. Customer base is open. Customer information, everything is open, and they are protected by GDPR. You understand? So that is very important. That question is very important, and that is what you should do. Yeah. Any more question? All right. This meeting schedule is about to end. I think it's pre. Yeah, but Alex, if you want to, I think this meeting is over. It's about to end. Yeah. Hello, Borderless. Do you want to close the meeting?
Oh, yeah, thank you for that. Let's please appreciate Ayoola for the class. I just came back, it was right on time. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Ayoola. This is right on time. Initially, I was thinking you guys would spend more time. Before I go ahead, hello, Shirley Samuel. I see your hands up. Has the question or your comment been taken? Okay, thank you for putting your hands down. So thank you, Ayoola Dada, for that. So please let me just 1 minute get my earpiece. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. So thank you for that, Ayoola. This is the third class
next week will be our final class. I hope we are all learning from this. As I said earlier, there is the opportunity to teach and also to get mentorship. So please do fill the forms. I'm going to reshare it again now. If you're interested, I shared it at the beginning of the class. I'm going to share that again now so that we can fill that in. So if you're interested, please fill that in. I've just sent them in the chat. So I hope we're all ready for next week. That will be the rounding part of the class. And please do your assignments. Please do your. So thank you very much. This was brought to us by Borderless Tech, and this is a corporate social responsibility, a CSR, to basically empower individuals in tech. So I don't know, any other questions, any comments before we close for today? Okay, thank you very much. I aligned that thing from your end before we close for today.
No, I'm just going to send in some assignments during the week. So just watch out for the WhatsApp. It's going to be on the WhatsApp group. That's all I want to just say.
Okay. Thank you very much, and thank you everybody. So
Yeah.
do have a lovely evening and see you next week. Bye.
Hello, sorry, Wale.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bye.
Chinwendu.
Sorry, the form you sent doesn't have business analysis.
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Chinwendu. I'm going to. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Just check it again. I'm going to edit it in the next. Let's just do it now. I didn't even check it, but thank you for that. So business analysis. Refresh now and check Chiwendo. Does it have it now?
Hello, sir.
Hello Shile, please 1 minute. Chiwendo, please refresh. Does it have it now? In case you're speaking, you're muted. Okay, hello Shile, can go on.
Yeah, I want to say I'm not on the WhatsApp group. I don't know how to go about that.
You're not on the WhatsApp group. Wow. How do I get that now? Okay, just hold on. I'm going to share it now. Chiwendo has left already, so I believe he has seen that. That's fine. Let me just try to get the link for the WhatsApp group for you now. For those of us that we don't have anything, we can take our leave. I think we're good. I just want to respond to Alo Shile with this. So thank you, everybody. Do have a lovely week ahead. Hello, Shile, just hold on. The form is far away. I'm trying to look for it. The link to the is far away. I'm trying to get it now. I'm struggling with it. Let me just. Sorry, just 1 minute. It's taking forever for me to get it. I've seen it. I'll paste it now. Okay, so Aloshil, I just posted it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's. I think click on it now because if I end the meeting, you won't be able to get it anymore. Thank you, Kent. Thank you, Dada Victoria. Thank you, Akinola Temitope. Oruaye. Thank you. So are you in now, Samuel?
No, 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 no. Yes.
You said no. You said yes. Which one should I pick?
Yeah, I mean, no.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Thank you, Kent. Yep. Stop streaming.